While wearing appropriate protective gear when working is generally advisable, deciding how much protection is necessary hinges on various factors. Removing a shirt in hot conditions might seem reasonable, especially at a relatively low height and with no handling of hazardous materials. However, safety should remain the top priority. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, minimizes injury risks. Removing a shirt might offer temporary heat relief but could expose you to sunburn, cuts, or scrapes. The work environment greatly influences required protection levels. You mentioned working outside in hot conditions. While excessive heat can be uncomfortable, it is usually not a major hazard at low heights, unless other factors are present, such as heavy machinery or electrical equipment. PPE protects against specific hazards. In electrical work, this includes gloves, safety glasses, and suitable clothing. Leather gloves offer some electrical hazard protection, but less than insulated rubber gloves. Determining whether or not wearing all the protection was a major issue is difficult with certainty based solely on the provided details. Removing a shirt in hot conditions may have been acceptable, but assessing potential work environment hazards and making informed PPE decisions is crucial. If you are unsure about the appropriate protection level for a specific task, it is always best to err on the side of caution and wear all necessary PPE. Consider these points to make informed decisions about personal protective equipment. Firstly, assess all potential hazards in your work environment. This includes electrical hazards, sharp objects, chemical exposure, extreme temperatures, and the risk of falls. Secondly, understand the limitations of different types of personal protective equipment. For example, leather gloves provide some protection against electrical shock, but they are not as effective as insulated rubber gloves that are specifically designed for electrical work. Thirdly, always inspect your personal protective equipment before each use. Look for any signs of damage, wear, or deterioration. Replace any damaged equipment immediately. Fourthly, ensure that your personal protective equipment fits properly. Loose or ill-fitting equipment may not provide adequate protection. Fifthly, follow all safety procedures and guidelines established by your employer or industry regulations. These procedures are designed to minimize the risk of accidents and injuries. Sixthly, if you are ever unsure about the appropriate personal protective equipment for a particular task, ask your supervisor or a qualified safety professional for guidance. They can help you assess the hazards and select the appropriate equipment. Seventhly, remember that personal protective equipment is just one part of a comprehensive safety program. It is important to also follow safe work practices, such as using lockout/tagout procedures, maintaining a clean and organized work area, and taking regular breaks to avoid fatigue. Eighthly, stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, especially when working in hot conditions. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and other health problems that can increase the risk of accidents. Ninthly, be aware of the symptoms of heat stress, such as headache, nausea, and dizziness. If you experience any of these symptoms, take a break in a cool place and drink plenty of water. Tenthly, never work alone in potentially hazardous situations. Always have a buddy or coworker nearby who can assist you in case of an emergency. Electrical work presents unique risks, and specific measures are necessary. Insulated tools are essential for electrical work. These tools are designed with non-conductive handles to protect you from electric shock. Before starting any electrical work, always verify that the power is off. Use a voltage tester to confirm that the circuit is de-energized. Never assume that the power is off, even if the switch is in the off position. Grounding is another critical safety measure in electrical work. Grounding provides a path for electricity to flow safely back to the source in the event of a fault. This helps to prevent electric shock and equipment damage. Wear appropriate clothing when working with electricity. Avoid wearing loose clothing or jewelry that could get caught in equipment or conduct electricity. Use a ladder or platform that is specifically designed for electrical work. Make sure the ladder is stable and properly positioned before climbing. Keep a safe distance from energized equipment. Never reach into or touch energized equipment. If you must work near energized equipment, use appropriate insulation and shielding. Be aware of the potential for arc flash. Arc flash is a dangerous electrical explosion that can cause severe burns, blindness, and even death. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as a face shield, gloves, and flame-resistant clothing to protect yourself from arc flash. Follow lockout-tagout procedures when working on electrical equipment. Lockout-tagout procedures ensure that the equipment is de-energized and cannot be accidentally turned on while you are working on it. Get qualified. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified and experienced personnel. If you are not qualified, do not attempt to work on electrical equipment. Never work on electrical equipment while you are tired or distracted. Fatigue and distraction can increase the risk of accidents. If you are working in wet or damp conditions, take extra precautions to prevent electric shock. Wear rubber boots and gloves and use ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs. GFCIs are designed to detect ground faults and quickly shut off the power to prevent electric shock. Do not overload circuits. Overloading circuits can cause the wires to overheat and start a fire. Use the correct size wire for the circuit. The wire size must be adequate to carry the amount of current that the circuit will be carrying. Inspect electrical cords and plugs regularly for damage. Replace any damaged cords or plugs immediately. Use extension cords safely. Do not use extension cords as a permanent wiring solution. Use extension cords that are rated for the amount of power that you will be using. Keep electrical equipment clean and dry. Dust and moisture can cause electrical equipment to malfunction. Never block access to electrical panels or equipment. Electrical panels and equipment must be easily accessible in case of an emergency. Be aware of the location of emergency shut-off switches. Know how to quickly shut off the power in case of an emergency. Report any electrical hazards to your supervisor or a qualified safety professional. Do not attempt to repair electrical hazards yourself unless you are qualified to do so. Participate in regular safety training. Safety training can help you stay up to date on the latest safety procedures and best practices. Taking these precautions will help you stay safe when working with electricity. Remember that electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. Always follow safe work practices and use appropriate personal protective equipment. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive standards for electrical safety. Understanding and adhering to NEC guidelines is crucial for safe electrical work. Some key NEC articles include Article 110.3 covering examination, identification, installation, and use of equipment, Article 230 regarding service entrances, and Article 250 focusing on grounding and bonding. NEC Table 310.15b16 provides ampacity ratings for conductors, dictating the safe current carrying capacity of wires based on their size and insulation type. When selecting conductors, it's essential to consider the ambient temperature and the number of conductors in a raceway, as these factors can affect the conductor's ampacity. Derating factors, as outlined in NEC Section 310.15, must be applied to ensure that the conductors are not overloaded. Grounding and bonding are critical for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing electric shock. Bonding ensures that all metallic parts of the electrical system are at the same potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. NEC Article 250 provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are life-saving devices that protect against electric shock. GFCIs detect ground faults and quickly shut off the power to the circuit, preventing serious injury or death. NEC Section 210.8 requires GFCIs in certain locations such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. Arc flash is a dangerous phenomenon that can occur when a short circuit creates a high-energy arc. Arc flash can cause severe burns, blindness, and even death. NEC Article 110.16 requires arc flash hazard warnings to be posted on electrical equipment. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, is essential for protecting workers from arc flash hazards. PPE includes flame-resistant clothing, face shields, gloves, and other protective gear. The level of PPE required depends on the severity of the arc flash hazard. Lockout-tagout procedures are used to prevent accidental energization of electrical equipment during maintenance or repair. Lockout-tagout procedures involve disconnecting the power to the equipment and placing a lock and tag on the disconnect switch. This prevents anyone from accidentally turning on the power while someone is working on the equipment. NEC Article 120 provides detailed requirements for lockout-tagout procedures. Electrical safety training is essential for all workers who work with or near electricity. Training should cover topics such as electrical hazards, safe work practices, and the use of personal protective equipment. Qualified electrical workers should have completed an apprenticeship program or other formal training program. They should also be familiar with the NEC and other relevant safety standards. Electrical inspections are an important part of ensuring electrical safety. Electrical inspections are conducted by qualified inspectors who check for compliance with the NEC and other safety standards. Electrical inspections can help to identify potential hazards and prevent electrical fires and other accidents. Regular maintenance is essential for keeping electrical equipment in good working condition. Maintenance should include cleaning, inspecting, and testing electrical equipment on a regular basis. Any damaged or worn equipment should be repaired or replaced promptly. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, do not attempt to do it yourself. Hire a qualified electrician to perform any electrical work that needs to be done. Always follow safe work practices when working with or near electricity. Use common sense and be aware of your surroundings. If you are ever unsure about something, ask for help. Electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. By following safe work practices and using appropriate personal protective equipment, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and injuries. A few additional points to consider are that firstly, leather gloves, while offering some protection, are not a substitute for proper insulated gloves when working with electricity. Secondly, even low voltage electricity can be dangerous. Thirdly, working in hot conditions increases the risk of heat stress, which can impair judgment and increase the risk of accidents. Fourthly, sunburn can damage the skin and increase the risk of skin cancer. Fifthly, cuts and scrapes can become infected if not properly treated. Sixthly, if you are working on a construction site, you may be required to wear a hard hat to protect your head from falling objects. Seventhly, if you are working in a noisy environment, you may be required to wear hearing protection. Eighthly, if you are working in an area with poor air quality, you may be required to wear a respirator. Ninthly, if you are working with hazardous materials, you may be required to wear special protective clothing. Tenthly, always follow the instructions provided by the manufacturer of any personal protective equipment. Finally, remember that safety is everyone's responsibility. If you see something that looks unsafe, report it to your supervisor or a qualified safety professional. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity.